Let's discuss further. Today we are going to discuss Act 7, Shakuntala's Prosperity. This act occurs in the realm of the celestial beings and then moves to the hermitage of Marika or Prajapati and Atiti. They are Indira's father and mother. So the act is occurring at the celestial beings and then it is moving to the hermitage. As we have already studied for a Sanskrit drama, unlike the Greek drama, it can happen at different places. After defeating the so after defeating the demons, Dushyanta and Matali are on their way back to Earth. So after defeating the demons, Dushyanta and Matali, we have already seen the demons disturbing the people in that hermitage. So after defeating the demons, Dushyanta and Matali are on their way back to Earth. When Dushyanta sees the holy hermitage at Sage Marika and expresses his desire to seek his blessings, at the hermitage, Matali requests an audience with Marika. And in the ensuing wait means the waiting period that followed an event. So after the ensuing wait, Dushyanta comes across a young boy playing with a lion's cup and playfully tormenting. Tormenting means giving great pain to his caretaker. So that's we are going to discuss. So what is happening here? So from the celestial place, in the realm of celestial beings, they came to the hermitage of Marika and Atiti. Marika is Indra's father and Atiti is Indra's mother. After defeating the demons, we already have seen the ascetics were disturbed by the demons. So they went and defeated the demons. Dushyanta and Matali are on their way back to Earth. Now, Dushyanta sees the holy hermitage of sage Marika and he is expressing his desire to seek his blessings. At the hermitage, so they came to the hermitage, Madali requests an audience with Marika. And in the ensuing wait, so they are waiting for the blessings of Marika. As they are waiting, Dushyanta comes across a young boy. So Dushyanta sees an young boy, and this young boy is playing with a lion's cub and tormenting his caretaker. So what does that mean? So when you see a child playing with a lion's cub, that indicates that this child is not a normal child, right? And he is giving a if you see some of the children who are really talented often give a hard time for the caretaker. So same is happening here. The child is giving a lot of trouble to his caretakers. He notices the mark prophesied that was meant to be on his son. So there was a prophecy about he's not having a child. So and a child is really needed for him to carry on the kingdom. And and there was a prophecy, and that mark of prophecy is on this son and begins to yearn for a child. In the course of the conversation with the caretakers, so he is talking with the caretakers of the boy, Dushyanta realizes that the boy might indeed be his son. So after having a conversation with the caretakers, he feels like, or he's having a doubt. Maybe this is going to be, or this may be his child. After then, what did he do? He picked up the boy's magical amulet. What is amulet means? It's a small object worn on the neck for protection. So it believes good luck or keep away evil. So this was supposed to be only be taken by his parents or Mariko could touch. It cements Dushyantha's belief of his being the father. So when he could take it, so it's a proof that he is his father because only his parents or Marika could touch, but he could touch it and there was no problem. So it indicates that this child is his own. Shakuntala appears at the news of a stranger's arrival. So this boy again, his mother is Shakuntala. So Shakuntala appears at the news of a stranger's arrival and at first is unable to recognize Dushyanta. So you see the contrast, At one time, Dushyanta was not able to recognize Shakuntala. Now Dushyanta is back at the hermitage and Shakuntala is not able to recognize Dushyanta. In a touch of irony, it is Dushyanta now who asked to be recognized as the boy's father. Dushyanta explains his loss of memory and how he regained it at the sight of the ring, and happy Shakuntala accepts his explanation. So Dushyanta now explains his loss of memory and how all such things happened before everything was explained, and Shakuntala was happy. The reunited family goes to Marika to seek his blessings, where Marika reveals the truth about Durvasa Rishi's curse. So now only the truth being revealed. What was the truth? The whole thing happened because of the Rishi Durvasa. He was a person who was short-tempered. Because of his anger, the curse came, and because of the curse only, Dushyanta was not able to recognize Shakuntala. So now Dushyanta is relieved because he thought it's all his mistake, and now he understood it was not only his mistake. It was not at all his mistake. It was all about the curse. Dushyanta is relieved at this revelation and is absolved of his cruel behavior. Kanva is also informed of the events, and the family leaves for Earth from the celestial realm. So the Kanva, their father, Shakuntala's father, is also informed of Kanva. She is also informed of the events, and the family leaves for Earth from the celestial realm. The play ends here. In the next sections, we will look at the critical themes the play deals with. So that's all about the play, and we can say, like, they are happily married forever. They, like how a story ends. So, and they came to this Dushyanta and Shakuntala. They came back to the earth from the celestial realm, and that's the end of the story. Now let's look at the themes. So what's a theme? A theme is the central topic of a text. However, since no work of literature can concentrate on just one theme without referencing others, a text will usually have more than one, with some being more essential for the text than others. So a theme is the central topic of a text. No work of literature can concentrate on just one theme without referencing the other. So, in a for a work of literature, the themes could be connected with others. So, it is not possible for a work to exist with only one theme without referencing others. A text will usually have more than one, with some being more essential for the text than others. Abhijnana Shakuntala deals with many themes. What are they? Love, memory, concealment, act of hiding, duty as desire, courtly world as the hermitage, etc. Let's begin with the theme of love. Abhijnana, so we are going to discuss about the theme of love. Abhijnana Shakuntala, as stated in the introduction, is a heroic drama of a romantic nature. The rasa, the aesthetic, invoked here is Sringara or love. And according to Sanskrit dramatic order, love poetry consists of Sambhoga, that is love in union, and Vipralambha, that is love in separation. In the play, Kalidasa first creates a temporary union of the protagonists. Who are the protagonists here? Dushyanta and Shakuntala. Uh, in the play, Kalidasa first creates a temporary union of the protagonists, King Dushyanta, the hero or Nayaka, and Shakuntala, the heroine or a Nayaka. As the play narrativizes the bargaining, what is meant by bargaining? Growing or developing rapidly. The bargaining and consummation of their love, it is then followed by separation caused by the loss of memory and the token ring due to the curse. The play ends with the reunion of not only Shakuntala and Dushyanta but also of their son Bharata. We notice how these stages of love occur in different places in the play. The initial courting and marriage takes place in the forest of the hermitage, where the king had come to hunt. It is a world that is an intrinsic means belonging naturally, intrinsic part of Shakuntala's character. Even the plants and animals are her kin, that means her relatives. Dushyanta has thus entered her world The interruption of this love happens when Dushyanta leaves the world to go back to the royal palace, where his duties as a king avoid. When Shakuntala goes to claim her right to be by his side at the court, the device of the curse denies that union, and both the ascetic companions and Dushyanta deserts her. Their final union happens around 6 years later in the celestial realm on a heavenly mountain in the hermitage of Marika and Aditi. So their final union is happening around 6 years later in the celestial realm on a heavenly mountain in the hermitage of Marika and Aditi. In portraying the development of their love in such a way, Kalidasa highlights the differences between the world of hermitage and the world of royal court. Paradoxically, it is in the world of the hermitage, a place of austerities and meditation, that Shakuntala and Dushyanta find love, and in the royal court, a place ideal for the intrigues of love, that their separation occurs. So it's a paradox, right? Yeah, the love was supposed to happen in the palace, but what is happening here? It is in the world of the hermitage, a place of austerities and meditation where you're supposed to meditate and seek God. There actually Dushyanta and Shakuntala are having their love. But in the court, where usually these kind of things happen, they are not, they are kind of separated. Shakuntala, born and bred in the innocent and pure world of nature, puts her faith in words rather than objects. So Shakuntala was born and bred in the nature. So there is no cheating. It's very true and real over there. So when Dushyanta said he loves Shakuntala, she was very innocent, and so she just put faith in the words of Dushyanta rather than objects. Consenting to a Gandharva marriage, immediately she agreed for a marriage. This form of marriage, Gandharva marriage, does not require the consent of the parents or elders, and is primarily foregrounded on the desire of the lovers. If the lovers are agreeing, they can marry. It doesn't need the consent of the parents or elders. However, this love cannot disrupt the established caste hierarchy. Therefore, we see how Dushyanta pursues Shakuntala once he ascertains her Kshatriya Varna. So once he understood, that means even if they are marrying Gandharva marriage, there should be this caste appropriateness. So here, Shakuntala, when he understood that Shakuntala is from a Kshatriya, he is more happy. Dushyanta represents the world outside the secluded and protected hermitage, which is filled with deceit and cunning. So Dushyanta is representing what? The world outside the secluded and protected hermitage. In the hermitage, things all are safe, but not in the world outside. It is filled with deceit and cunning. Shakuntala's word is not sufficient, but needs tangible proof to be validated in the form of the ring. In front of everyone in the royal court, the contrasting nature of their worlds necessitates that their union occurs in a different world altogether. Moreover, specifically, after Dushyanta becomes a more considerate and compassionate man. Kalidasa seems to bring in an element of sadness in the prologue, and some might even say unnecessary delaying of their union. Kalidasa shows us the intoxicating nature of passion and love, and how it might lead to a neglect of one's duty or a dharma. For Shakuntala, that results in the curse. See, here you can see sometime the passion of love, the nature of passion of love, what it can do, it can make one neglect his or duty or dharma. That happened with Shakuntala, right? Yeah, Shakuntala, how the curse happened to her? Because she was supposed to take care of Durvasa Rishi, right? Who was a very short-tempered person, and she was totally absorbed in the love of Dushyanta, and she didn't realize when Durvasa came to the hermitage, and that brought curse upon her. So that thing is brought out here for Shakuntala. That results. So when we study a Sanskrit drama, it's not just for reading and getting entertained. The purpose is that we also to be educated. For Shakuntala, that results in the curse, which leads to her repudiation, refusal to accept something or rejection. This curse can only be broken on the presentation of a token of recognition, which is the royal signet ring. Though the curse complicates our understanding of love, we nonetheless see how Shakuntala is unwavering in her love for Dushyanta, which ascribes her as the ideal heroine. So, curse is complicating the complete thing, right? But still also we can see Shakuntala is unwavering in her love for Dushyanta, which ascribes her as the ideal heroine. The ring too complicates our understanding of love by making us question the veracity of love itself, the truthfulness of love itself. If such love needs inanimate objects to validate it, to do a true love need to be validated with a ring? That's a question being asked. Kalidasa's depiction of love is thus nuanced. Okay, so that this this love or the depiction of love by Kalidasa is having a a different meaning and complications, and does not shy away from his making his audience ask uncomfortable questions regarding it. The theme of concealment. Concealment means the act of hiding something or keeping it secret. The theme of concealment becomes evident in Act 1 itself when Dushyanta takes off his royal garments. The act of hiding is happening when Dushyanta he took off his royal garments and weapons as he entered into the hermitage of Kanva. Even though he undertakes this action as a sign of respect for the sacred place, it's a sacred place, so you are supposed to take out of your royal garments and all such things. It allows him to take off the mask of a king and conceal his real identity. So when he took off his uh, clothes in the sense his royal garments, it helped him to conceal his royal identity. He introduces himself to Shakuntala as a court official, inspecting the penance, the sacred forest where sages meditate. Penance groves means the sacred forest where sages meditate. So Dushyanta is telling that he came there to inspect the place. The deception makes space for a much more relaxed interaction between Dushyanta and Shakuntala and her companion. So if Dushyanta would have come there and said, I am the king, you cannot just interact with the king just like that, right? But he said, I'm just an official. So that made the companions and Shakuntala to have a proper interaction with the Dushyanta without the strict rules of engagement mandated for royals. Literally throwing of the mantle of this kingship, Dushyanta presents himself as a man first, and Shakuntala is attracted to this noble court official at first. Literally throwing of the mantle of his kingship, Dushyanta presents himself as a man first, and so he's not presenting himself as a king, but so that we can say, okay, Shakuntala was attracted because of his position. It was not like that. Dushyanta was presented himself as a man first, and Shakuntala is attracted to this noble court official at first. When Dushyanta comes again to woo, means to make love with her, he can no longer hide his true identity. Then there is this problem happening. The ascetics are coming and complaining that the demons are creating problem. So as a king, he is supposed to protect the ascetics. So what did he do? He went on and fought with the demons. So, and he is performing his kingly duty over there. The second act of concealment. Okay. So we can say that Dushyanta was not able to conceal his identity forever. Once the ascetics came and told him that the demons are tormenting them, he has to reveal he's the king. So that's what it's talking here. The second act of concealment occurs in Act 2 when Dushyanta is urgently called. So these are the theme. Okay, the act of concealment is a theme. Different places it's being acted upon. The second act of concealment occurs in Act 2 when Dushyanta is urgently called by his mother to the royal palace. He is torn between his duty towards his mother and his kingdom and his desire. So at one place, he has to perform his duty as the king. So he has to go back to the kingdom, but he also want to be with the Shakuntala, or also want to see the Shakuntala again. The dilemma is solved when the ascetics requires his help. They are asking his help again. What they are asking? As he sends Madhavya in his stead to the capital city, the ascetics are coming and saying that demons are tormenting them. So he got an excuse to say to his mother. He sends Madhavya, his close companion, in his stead to the capital city. He tells Madhavya that he is staying back to do his duty towards these ascetics and not out of his desire for Shakuntala. So there again you can see a concealment from the king. He's not telling that I am here for Shakuntala, but he is telling it's my duty to protect the ascetics. He further tells his friend to consider all he said about Shakuntala as a joke. So he has already talked much about Shakuntala, but now he is saying, yeah, it's all joke. There was nothing real. Dushyanta therefore conceals his true feelings for Shakuntala as well as his let's as well as his reason for staying back at the hermitage. The concealments, the hiding, creates a sense of a foreboding. Foreboding means it's saying that a meaning foreboding means a feeling that something bad is going to happen. So this concealment creates a sense of foreboding in the play as it allows their marriage to be a secret from outside the hermitage, from everyone outside. So since he concealed all these things, nobody knows what exactly happened in the hermitage. And therefore, there are no witnesses who can support Shakuntala when she comes to the royal court. The third concealment, hiding, takes place in the act third when the lovesick Shakuntala writes a love letter to Dushyanta. So Shakuntala is lovesick and she is writing a love letter to Dushyanta. The problem, however, is its delivery. So it cannot be delivered since Dushyanta is busy protecting the ascetics in their ritual. It is Priyamvada who devises a plan. So the Priyamvada, who is a companion of Shakuntala, is devising a plan. She disguised the letter with other offerings of the ritual. So as part of the ritual, there are many offerings need to be given to the king. So she is somehow disguised the letter as something else and given to the king, thus allowing her to give it to Dushyanta. Dushyanta's timely appearance saves them from actualizing the plan. This event again points to the incongruity of incongruity means something that does not meet or seems out of place of love's actualization in the hermitage, where such actions don't sit well with a holy space established on abstinence and austerity. So it is a hermitage, right? Where such lies and such kind of concealments should not be occurring. So even though his companion, oh no, sorry, even though Shakuntala's companion tried to do such an act, it was not happen. Probably because it's a holy place. Such things should not be happening. She was trying to, give that love letter, with the rituals. The ascetics are doing their ritual, so and the king is helping them, and to that ritual things are given, and she's trying to give the love letter in a different thing, but it didn't happen. So somehow it was saying that it's a holy place and such kind of things should not be happening. Maybe such an act may not be an appropriate thing to do. In the same act, we see one of the most important scenes of concealment. Shakuntala is so disheartened and distracted by the thoughts of Dushyanta that she unknowingly angers the sage Durvasa Rishi, who then curses her. You know the story, right? She also fails to register the curse, and on receiving and is oblivious of it. Oblivious means she's not aware of it. Who Shakuntala is not aware of the curse she received. It is her companions who hear the curse. Her companions heard the curse, and on receiving the reprieve, reprieve means they somehow pleaded with the with the Durvasa Rishi and got a temporary relief from the sage. Decide not to inform Shakuntala about the curse, and we know the relief, right? Yeah. Thus, it is their concealment of the truth of the curse that leads her to arrive at Dushyanta's court, unaware of the reason why he no longer remembers her. So, Shakuntala, though even though she had the ring with her, she didn't know that if the ring is lost, the king is not going to recognize her. Then she would have been more careful, right? But they also didn't thought she's going to lose the ring because it's very important one. Had she been warned, perhaps Kanva would have gone with his daughter to the court to help her, or Shakuntala herself would have been more careful with the ring and not lost it in the river. With the ring as a token that would break the curse, Dushyanta and Shakuntala's union would have occurred much earlier and without so much pain on both sides. The final concealment occurs in Act 6, where Misrageshi hides herself. Now, Misrageshi is an Apsara. She is hiding herself to observe the repenting king. She observes how deeply Dushyanta regrets not just his rejection of Shakuntala, but also the loss of the son who could have continued the Puru clan. Even as Misrageshi feels sad for both the suffering lovers, she does not intervene because the gods have a plan for Durvasa and have devised their reunion in accordance with to Indra's wishes. Here we see how the events of the story are not completely in the hands of the two protagonists. The reunion only occurs according to the plans of the gods. So it is not only these protagonists who are the protagonists, um, Shakuntala and Dushyanta. So they are not only, the play is not only revolving around them, many are actively involved, like the gods and this and that, so many, and curses, all such things are actively involved in this play. Even the curse and the subsequent loss of memory could be controlled by either of the two, as both are unaware of it. This makes the audience aware of the uncertain and complex nature of fate. So, it is teaching the people about the uncertain nature of the fate. So that's all for today. And tomorrow we are going to discuss about the hermitage and the court. Okay, bye for today.